possible.
This is Thomas Lyons of Raps on TV here at the Intercontinental Hotel for the final weigh-in for Degale-Eubank. Fortunate to be joined by Richard Poxon of Poxon Sports. Firstly, Richard, how's everything going?
Yeah, really good, mate. Looking forward to tomorrow now. Everybody's shut off to have something to eat. I should imagine Nando's is packed, so it's all over there.
I mean, massive pay-per-view event. High-profile British domestic fight between James Degale, former two-time world champion, and Chris Eubank. I mean, how kind of did the fight come about and the event? Just talk to me a little bit about the logistics behind the fight.
It was just a fight that we've been talking about launching. Myself and Al Eamon had been talking about. We were looking at domestic fights to make. We always thought that the first fight should be a domestic fight.
Yeah.
And then the conversation switched to which are the biggest domestic fights. And I believe this is one of the biggest domestic fights available around that time. So the conversations actually started last summer, but it didn't get finalised till just before Christmas, believe it or not. So
yeah, I mean, with the wealth of TV outlets, broadcasters, does that kind of highlight the magnitude of this event? Obviously, you've got a packed undercard with Joe Joyce facing Bermain Stavern. So you've got Lee Selby returning at lightweight. So
yeah, that's a really interesting fight. That because I looked at Lee on the scale today, and he looks. Even at lightweight, he looks like miles too big for lightweight, and you think, bloody hell, he were making super feather. How did he keep that going?
Yeah.
So that's a really intriguing fight because that Douglas kid does come to fight, and he can fight. He lost on a split to Edna Cherry, who was boxed for world title however many times. And he lost on points to Fortuna, who most people would say he's one of the top 2 or 3 kids in that division.
Yeah, I mean, it's well documented that sort of Lee struggled to make the weight at featherweight after his all-British fight with Josh Warrington.
Yeah.
So do you think this kind of ability to move up in weight will give him a bit more leeway?
I'm hoping he's a lot stronger, and he can sit down in his punches a little bit more, maybe be a bit more spiteful in his punching, and look to whiz him in than maybe he did before, when perhaps subconsciously questioning, am I going to be okay to get through the 12 rounds, and can I put everything into it?
Yeah, I know it's difficult for you to kind of give a prediction. You have to kind of be
draw 16 to 1. Draw 16 to 1. That's my prediction
for the main event.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And in terms of sort of the pay-per-view model in the UK, I mean, we've seen with the likes of Anthony Joshua kind of establishing himself as a massive pay-per-view star. Also, Dylan White coming through as a.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a lot more fighters at this level that are going to be able to make themselves into pay-per-view?
I think ultimately what it comes down to is, and this is something fans have got to kind of get their heads around, that it's not. Some people can say, it's TV stations being greedy, or it's this promoter being greedy, or it's this promotional company being greedy, or everyone's being greedy.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just that to make the finances work that will deliver that fight, there is no other way of doing it. And that's kind of where I think the market's going, that there's some really big fights and really interesting fights. But because boxing is so aggressive at the moment, there's loads of channels, which I think is fantastic. Listen, it could be on BBC 1, 2, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, and you wouldn't hear a complaint for me with 5 different promotional companies. I think it were brilliant.
Yeah.
But because that's happening, the boxers are more in demand. The prices and costs are going up, and so are their expectations. So some fights can only be made by pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, just touch on kind of there's been groundbreaking deals we've seen with the likes of ITV and PBC linking up.
Yeah.
And do you feel that's kind of expanding the profile of the sport, the growth of the sport, having this diverse range of TV networks being able to contribute to the coverage of boxing at the moment?
Look, the more channels it's on, the more world champions we have. I said to somebody the other day, I hope Frank Warren gets 20 British world champions. I hope Eddie's got 20 British world champions. I hope we end up with 20 British world champions. Whether they're all on one network or on 10 networks, the more boxing, the better for the sport. The more little kids are going to want to join an amateur gym and box and get themselves fit and healthy, and then one day be a champion of the future. It's just better for the sport all around.
Yeah, Richard, I appreciate you giving Raps on TV some of your time today. Privilege having you on the platform.
No problem.
Thomas,
it were your charming young face that swung it across.
Thanks very much. Appreciate the time. Top man.
Problem.
Cheers.
Is that okay?